Happy Thursday, lovelies. I'm back to annoy, educate, place disclaimers, declarations on your life. And today, the way I'm going to do that is to have a discussion about respectability politics, anti-Black respectability politics, and how they evolve into this ability to put the onus of coming out of oppression on the oppressed. So, respectability politics is a whole lot of syllables, so let's talk about what they mean when put together. Respectability politics are like this set of unspoken and spoken rules that really govern or dictate the behavior and how people present themselves in order to conform to whatever norm or societal norm that may be. What it also does, especially if it's anti-Black, it's usually the behaviors are governed by white supremacist rule, colonist rule, colonial rule, and what they've decided you should do, say, and wear in order to keep yourself safe from them. So what it really does, though, is it stems from this, when it's anti-Black, it stems from bringing a group of people from their land and their culture, their traditions, their customs, enslaving them and robbing them of language, last name, heritage, cultures, whatever traditions they had. So if you don't know, there's some books I can recommend, and you can comment if you'd like, and ask me, and I'll tell you what books to read. But that's what happened as slaves when we were brought here. We were not allowed to speak our own language. We were not allowed to practice our own traditions. We could not have our own names. We were renamed, and our identity, that ethnicity, and just our entire humanity was robbed at that time, and any variation outside of that could get you killed, or at minimum beaten. But what it was designed to do was to make the slave owners, the enslaver, the oppressor, comfortable. And those traditions have carried on throughout today. You see those. So one blaring example is in clothing, when Bill Cosby declared that you needed to pull your pants up, right, as a declaration of you're not self-respecting if your pants are baggy. Another example of that is in hair texture and in how we wear our hair when we had afros in the 70s, and that represented violence or rebellion. And it's also in how we're expected to dress and speak when we're in a room. It's why Black people do what's called coding, in that we may speak freely and comfortably in our environment with our loved ones and friends and family, but it's different. We have to speak differently at work in order to be heard and respected. So there's an evolution of that, and we can talk about that over days, and if you want to comment and we want to have discourse, that's fine. But there's many depths to respectability politics. But when I was watching Where Do We Go From Here on OWN a couple of nights ago, Ava DuVernay said something just that was powerful to me, because I believe what she was talking about is what happens on the other side of us falling victim to respectability politics, and how it doesn't really keep us safe. It doesn't really earn respect. It just keeps us from being ourselves in the presence of those that makes uncomfortable. So she was talking about the looting, rioting and protesting, and everyone's initial response to the rioting and looting. And I have heard people, seen people on my social media who said nothing about the killing and kept saying things like, now what? What is destroying property? All of that. And what Ava DuVernay said is that is so... What that says is, I was gonna care about, or I don't care about, or I was gonna care about the life of a black person, or the loss of life of a black person, but you stole that shoe, so now I can't. Or I was gonna care about 400 years of enslaving and terrorizing black people. You broke that window downtown, so I'm not gonna be able to hear your voice. All that is in, we want you to behave a certain way to earn our respect while we watch you die. I have not had a lot of articulation in this with other people. It's just been something that's been rolling over in my mind. But I had declared a while back, I am not going to fit into your respectability politics. When I can recognize that that's what's happening, I'm going to wear my hair however I like it. I'm going to wear what clothing I like to wear. I'm going to pierce whatever I'd like to pierce, and I'm going to tat whatever I'd like to tat. And I'm going to stand up for myself. And if that does cause a lack of safety, it doesn't matter anyway, because respectability politics have never kept us safe to begin with. Again, happy Thursday. Let's chat.